Hi guys, it's Charlotte here from charlotteohara.ca, and today I would like to welcome you back to another video where we are going to be doing a sort of fun Q&A session all about Squarespace SEO. So these questions that I have brought here, there's 6 of them that we're going to be going through, and these questions all come directly from you, and that's my audience, whether it's people that read my blog, watch my YouTube video tutorials, subscribe to my email newsletter list, like any of those things. Basically, you guys know me as someone who talks a lot about web design and development and Squarespace SEO in particular, and so I'm constantly getting asked really wonderful questions, and I'm excited to use these blog posts or video tutorials as a place to answer these questions, because I truly believe that there's no such thing as a bad question. You know, we're all at different stages in our journey when we're learning about the topic that's pretty in depth, such as Squarespace SEO. So I'm really happy that we can answer these all together. So if you want to learn a lot about Squarespace SEO specifically for e-commerce or online product sales on a website, then you're going to really enjoy the content of this video. So stay with us for a second. I do want to mention quickly that if you're interested in Squarespace SEO, you can download my free Squarespace SEO checklist. I've linked to it just down there below. It's a really wonderful resource to get you started all about Squarespace SEO, and it's free. Literally thousands of people have downloaded it, and it's really helpful. So if you haven't already, grab the Squarespace SEO checklist down below. Okay, so I've got the questions pulled up here that I've decided to answer. So let's get started right now. All right, the first question here, I'm going to read it out. It says, what should I do about discontinued products, especially if they were ranking well for SEO and drove a lot of website traffic? Or, I discontinued a product, should I keep the product page up or delete it from my website? How does that affect SEO? Okay, so in this case, this is a pretty common thing, especially if you have different types of products that are coming and going. You know, it's not just one product that's always available on your website or in your e-commerce shop. And when things, are changing or whatever, it makes sense that they're going to be discontinued at some point. And if that's the case, I suggest that you set up a newer redirect to another product that you already have or that you're still carrying on your website or in your e-commerce shop. So you're going to set up this new URL redirect. And when you do this, all of the SEO that you have already accumulated up until now is going to transfer over and carry over into that new URL that you're redirecting people to that page instead. So when it comes to your Squarespace website, you can create these URL redirects, and you're forwarding the visitors this way. You're saying okay, can't go to that product page anymore because it's discontinued. Instead, I'm going to send you to this active product page. And when you do this, there's 2 options. So I want to quickly mention them here. So the first one is you can set up a permanent change, which is called a 301 redirect. Or you can set up a temporary change, which is called a 302 redirect. But based on this question, I think you're probably, if it's discontinued, then you want to do a permanent change. So you're going to want to stick with the 301 redirect here. That's the most likely scenario, at least, and that's what I'd recommend doing. So with the 301 redirect for this product that you've discontinued and that URL no longer exists, what you're doing here is you're giving this information to a couple different spots. First of all, you're telling the browser to go to this different URL instead. So instead of sending people to the one that didn't work, now go to this new product instead using the redirect. So the browser's got that information, but more importantly, is that search engines such as Google or Bing or Yahoo, whatever, they also are notified that this old product page is no longer there, and instead you're sending people to this new product page. And that's good because they're also going to transfer all of the old products page ranking with you when you set up the 301 redirect. So it's definitely something you want to do. So if you have a discontinued product in either your Squarespace e-commerce shop, or if you're selling it on your Squarespace website, whatever, definitely set up this 301 redirect so that you're not losing out on all the SEO benefits just because a product is discontinued. Instead, send it to somewhere else that's relevant and makes sense for people anyways. Okay, let's move on to point number 2. So I'm going to pull that one up. And this question says, how can I use SEO to make more product sales? So this is kind of a broad question here, but I'm going to answer it as best I can and see where it goes. So Using SEO to make more product sales. So SEO, if you think about it, SEO is all about increasing traffic to your website, right? And connecting your website with people that are doing an online search, because these people that are doing online searches, they represent potential online customers of your product. So it's all about getting the right people in front of your website and your products so that you can introduce your offerings to these people and, you know, show them the kind of value that you have or you can offer them. So in the case of like e-commerce or the products that you're selling on your website, your goal here is to like maximize SEO because you want to reach as many potential customers as possible and drive more traffic to your website, which then increases sales to your website. So the first thing that I want you to focus on when it comes to SEO and your like the products that you're selling on your Squarespace website is make sure that all of the settings, first of all, on your Squarespace site are filled out properly. And then from there, once all the Squarespace settings are, you know, touched in place with SEO, then think about the pages that exist on your website and think about how all of those pages are formatted, how they're structured in a way that serves both you know, people that are viewing your website, so like the real human who's viewing the site and viewing all the content, but also think about how the pages are set up in a way that makes sense to search engines. So the search engines are the ones that are going to be indexing all of the content that exists on your website, and they're going to be returning that website content in search results, right? So keywords are going to play a really big role here as well. So make sure that you're being really clear about the keywords that you're using on your website and the keywords that you're targeting. And this is in particularly paying attention to the keywords as they are being used on product pages, on product descriptions, product images, all of that kind of thing. So with SEO, your first priority is getting these people onto your website so that you can then show them all the products that you have on offering. And this is how it all kind of ties in together. So SEO can also help take things like a step further and SEO can help increase product sales a step further in a couple different other ways. And one of them is through improving the user experience on your website. And one of the big things you can do here is link internally to other products that you're selling on your website. So when you set up these internal links here, what you're doing, the most common way is to showcase related products. Or other products that people have purchased that they may also be interested in, or similar products to the one that they're viewing. And I do have another video tutorial that shows you how to set up related products on your Squarespace website. So I'm gonna link to that up above and you can check that out to make sure that you're setting that up correctly. But basically the goal here is that you're suggesting these relevant products to people. And if someone's searching for product A, they may also be interested in product B. And this is really good for a few reasons. Like I said, it's good for user experience, but also it's a proven way to drive sales. And you know, at the end of the day, if you're selling a product, like you want to sell as many of them as possible. So you definitely want to set that up here. If you're kind of like, oh wait, what does that look like? Think about any time you've ever done an Amazon search. Like I'm sure if you searched on Amazon or looked at stuff, at the bottom they have all of those related products or you may also be interested in, and that will really help it. And it also gives more content for search engines to crawl. Okay, so let's go down now to point number 3 or question number 3, which says, any tips for including products on my Squarespace website's homepage? Does that actually have any SEO benefit, or should I keep products on a product page? And I really like this question, actually. It's a good one here. So, but let's think about how your homepage works and how people interact with it, okay? So in many cases, your homepage is the very first time that a site visitor is like meeting you, right? This is their initial introduction to who you are as a person, as a brand, as a business, whatever. It's their first kind of landing experience on your homepage, and they're pretty much clueless. They don't know who you are yet. They don't know what you offer. They don't even know that you have products at this point, right? So in my opinion, if you're selling products on your website, like I would never shy away from including those products on your homepage, right? Because whether you're like an e-commerce shop owner or you just happen to sell certain products on your website, I think it's a really good idea to include them directly on the homepage because it just shows people from the very first scroll or first peruse, if you will, that you do have products available. So you can do this in a couple different ways on your homepage. One thing that I think is a good way is to maybe like make a section on your homepage that includes maybe a couple of the top products that you have, or maybe some of the best-selling products. And either way, you're putting these top or best-selling products right in front of people at the very first visit on the homepage. You know, you can do this by maybe inserting a summary block if you're using like Squarespace, and you know, maybe selecting tags for whichever like best products or whatever you have. But either way, putting them on the homepage is a really good idea just to get them in front of people. And like I mentioned, you can choose which way or which type of products you're including on the homepage, whether it's like, you know, best, like, you know, top products, best sellers, or maybe if you are promoting a certain sale or offering, you might want to just switch it out to show just those particular products that are in the sale or the promotion that you're doing. But either way, when you include the links to products directly on your homepage, it's a really good way to drive sales, and it catches people's attention, like, and their interest as well in the products that you're offering right from the very start. And so the first time they land on the homepage, they see that you have this and they're more likely to click over for it. This has some SEO benefits as well, because when you include these products on your homepage, if you're like an e-commerce shop or you sell products or something, it actually can help to reduce the bounce rate of that homepage, which is a really good thing. Because when you include the products, people might be more likely to click through to the product page and then view all the other products and offerings you have. So again, when you lower the bounce rate and you keep people on your website or web page for longer, it's good for user experience, and it's also a factor that search engines are going to take into consideration. So I say, like, why the heck not, right? You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to list every single product you have, but highlighting a few is definitely a good idea. Okay, let's move on now to question number 4, which I like. So it says, how can I write good SEO-rich product descriptions? Or what should I include in product descriptions for SEO to pick up on? Okay, so when it comes to writing a really good SEO-friendly product description, the goal here is to give potential visitors or people who might make up, you know, potential visitors, but who are also represent prospective customers, all the information they need in order to make a purchase or complete the sale on your website. So I always recommend that you write your product descriptions in natural language, and do not be afraid to make a really lengthy product description. You know, you can really fill out a whole lot of content there in the product descriptions, and think about it as like being a really full sales page essentially for whatever you have on offering. So when it comes to these product descriptions, you want to tailor them for 2 different people or audiences. The first one is you want to tailor them for potential customers, but then the second one is you also want to think about how search engines are going to be reviewing all the content of your product description. So if a product description is SEO friendly and valuable for potential customers, you want to make sure that you're doing things like outlining all of the product features and using that clear language that's really easy to read, doesn't filled with jargon, things like that. It should also be well formatted and easy for someone to read and skim. So think about things like using headers or bullet points or numbered lists or things like that. Also, another good thing to include in the product description is a really clear and direct call to action. And these are really good because they help to really motivate someone, I guess, to actually, you know, click buy and make the sale here. So again, like I mentioned, don't shy away from lengthy product descriptions, because the more information you give people, the more likely they are to think, yep, this is exactly what I need, or this is what I want, and they're more likely to make the sale here. And think as well, when it comes to product descriptions, I think it goes without saying, but you should be including keywords as much as you can in the product descriptions. So if you focus on something called long tail keywords, that's going to be relatively easier to rank for, and therefore you'll be able to drive much more traffic to your website if you use long tail keyword in your product descriptions. So When it comes to actually including those keywords in your product descriptions, it can go in a couple different places, and I want to just outline them and run through them here with you. So the first spot is to put them in the product title. Duh. Next one, the product like description, so the headers and the body text, all that stuff. Next one is in the product URL slug. Next, product tags and categories. And finally, in the product images. So within the image itself, put it in the title, the description, etc. Okay, so I think that's everything when it comes to product descriptions, but there's lots to do with SEO. Don't shy away from content, long descriptions, including keywords, all that sort of thing. Okay, moving on now to question number 5. So I'm gonna read this here. It says, should I focus on blogging or link building for my e-commerce shop? Or is it more valuable to blog or build backlinks to my products? What SEO strategy is more effective for e-commerce? So I really like this question, and I know people want me to give them like, do this or do that, but I'm sorry, I'm gonna tell you that if you want to get the most SEO benefits, you really should be doing both. I know it's a lot of work to both blog and create new backlinks to your website, specifically your products, but trust me, it will pay off. So I definitely recommend that you do both of them. Start off, probably it might be easier to start off with blogging because that's something that you can control yourself. So with this, you can create blog posts or other type of content on your website that like showcases, highlights, supports all of the products that you have. With this in the blog post, you can really do a lot for on-site SEO. So making sure that your blog posts are filled with, you know, that you're blogging regularly, that you're creating really good content, and that you're showing people all the reasons why they should be buying your products and making the sale. As well, if you blog more, it's just basically creating more and more content that search engines can index and therefore return in search results. So that's always a good thing too from an SEO point of view. Yeah, even more keywords, all of that kind of stuff comes up in blogging. But at the same time, there's a huge amount of benefit as well from an SEO point of view if you create more backlinks to your website. So I do recommend that you spend some time doing outreach so that you can secure quality backlinks. And ideally, if they're coming from something that has like they're called high authority domains, if you can get backlinks from those type of websites, it's going to be even more valuable to you. But I know it takes a bit more work to go out and find these backlinks, to create these opportunities for other websites to link to you, but it will pay off. So get creative, try it out. I know that you'll see good results from doing both blogging and content creation and building backlinks to the products on your website. Okay, then that brings us to the final question, which is what kind of blog posts should I write if I have an e-commerce shop? Or I don't understand how blogging helps sell products on my website. Good. So this relates to the point that we just talked about here about creating blog posts that are part of your SEO strategy because they're really selling, you know, you're creating content around these products that you have and positioning all of the content in a way that makes it super obvious for the reader of the blog post to then go and make a sale to the product that you're selling on your website. So remember that blog posts have some major SEO benefits, right? Because it can create a lot of inbound traffic. It's more and more content that search engines can index and therefore put it in front of people. But you might be like, okay, that's great, I should blog, but like, what do I actually do? So I want to give you a couple of examples of blog post topics or ideas that you could do if you have an e-commerce shop or if you sell products on your website. So I wrote those down here, I'll read them out. So the first one could be like a versus style post. So for example, product X versus product Y, which one is better? Another example could be like a product comparison. So something like when to use product X and when to use product Y, or product X and product Y, the great debate, something like that, you know, any kind of comparison. Next one is like the product benefits post. So, you know, talking all about the benefits that you have or like the real outcome or whatever it is of a particular product. Next one, it could be a blog post that features something called user-generated content. So it could be something like, here's how our customers styled our product, or like, you know, something like that, or an Instagram roundup of all of our favorite t-shirts from our readers, or I don't know, something like that. Okay, next one could be a holiday gift guide. So that's pretty self-explanatory, but you would include the products in that gift guide. Another one could be a roundup. So for example, like our best-selling items of the week, or like here's what people shopped this week, or something like that. Another example of a blog post could be like a top 10 list. So something like the top 10, I don't know, like activewear t-shirts or something, like who knows, whatever it is. And finally, another example could be something like seasonal trends, or like, you know, style forecasting if you have particularly something to do with fashion or whatever. So that could be a fun one too. So hopefully that gives you some ideas of blog posts that you can write. And then when it comes time to actually writing those blog posts, like you want to make sure that you're thinking about on-site SEO for it. So how are you including keywords, and how are you formatting the blog post? So think about the title, think about how you're using headers, what kind of text are you including as like the body of the blog post. Make sure that you're using lots of images or graphics, or even better, maybe like you can use a video that like highlights or shows off your products. All of those sorts of things are going to make the blog post that much stronger, especially from an SEO point of view. Okay, so that's everything. I hope you've enjoyed this roundup of SEO questions and answers, all about e-commerce and products that you're selling on your Squarespace website. If you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. You can leave me a comment, anything. I'd love to hear from you if this helped you out. If you're interested in SEO, I want to encourage you again that you can grab my free Squarespace SEO checklist, and that's just available down at the link below. If you like this video, check out the other videos that I have on my YouTube channel or over on my website, which is charlotteohara.ca. I have lots more content all about Squarespace, SEO, web design, development, online business, and other tech tips like that. So it's really filled with tons of resources that will help you out with your own e-commerce shop or products that you're selling on your Squarespace website. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you again soon. Bye now.